Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, viewers. How are you? Okay, so let's do a bit of recap of our previous video in which we showed you that how we can make the necessary arrangement so that the quizzes which we build in here on the basis of a certain website, for example, SE Logic in our we have the SE Logic, has got all the number of mathematical and algebraic equation problems, right? So what uh, we have taken these couple of other questions and we have taken them manually into the database. The database file is already open and it is like this. It sounds like this. So it works on the double click and it looks up your question within the chapter and presents the bitmap, the picture image, resize it appropriately, and then plots you the options and tests you whether your question, the answer you select is right or not, right? So this is the automation. So at the moment we were manually entering. We are doing the manual entry of the questions. All we do is that we put the bit image and make it shorter so that it fits in the cell, and enter the answer in here. The rest of the things are copied, and answer must match one of the questions. This is the simplest algorithm. The requirement that you specify the answer that has to be one of the choices you give, right? It can be choice one, can be choice two, choice three, choice four, and so on, right? So this is the database which we want to update, and for updation we have used uh, button. Yeah, this is the update button. We have colored it. Otherwise, it is the same button which we were shown in our previous. Right? It is. We have just made it prominent by enlarging its font and putting a color in it. That's it. Otherwise, it is the same thing, right? As it was shown to you, that what it does, it collects all these the bit images which are here, and makes a in PNG file, a picture file, and makes it ready to be added into the database, right? And for adding, we need to, first of all, we showed you that how to take the information, that where is the location of the database which we want to update, right? So we developed a form in our previous video. You can see that in the view code, this is the and this is the form which we developed. And what it does, as soon as it is shown, it picks up the automatically the DB file path, right? And the next thing we have to do is bring all the files in this drop down, so that the user selects that and by selecting a file, the user will specify that we want this file to be updated with the questions which are plotted in it automatically. Okay, and then all it needs to do is proceed, and it will be executed. That's it. Okay. So today we are going to put all the DB possible files into this drop down, right? So let's see the code which we are going to write in here. So we have written the code in here. Yeah, that is in the initialization. And the initialization of the form, we showed in our previous video that it was only populating the text box, specifying the file path, right? The file path was automatically taken, means wherever this file is going to be. So if it is located on the OneDrive, then it will convert that OneDrive HTTP path into the local path, and it will update it, and it will be displayed on the form. The next thing to be done is that what are the files which we want to be displayed in our drop-down in the combo box, right? So the files are named as lesson, and then star, then Excel star. I mean, all the Excel files starting with lesson can be the DB files which we have done. So the system will check if this file is valid or not, but at least it should come up with the possible files which can be used by the user to indicate that he wants to update this file. Okay, so let's run it. So when you run it, it takes you to this logic, and this is the DB file path. And what it is doing is that it is populating this combo box with all the files in this folder, right? And with the so that the user can tell the system that please uh, update the DB using this is our file which we want to update. So it will verify that this file which is selected by the user must have at least two sheets. One is a quiz, uh, the other is the database. Yeah, if you go to the Excel and you see the file is at the moment open, but it will not necessarily be always open, right? So if it is not open, so it will open it, the system will open it so that it can be updated. The questions can come in the first line available of the existing questions, right? These are the existing questions. The next question will come in row number 122 with all these things, and these information will there, and the image, the picture will come in here, and uh, when the user will come, so it will see that question updated and ready to be presented to the audience, and the audience can select it. Means the user can attempt the choices, and if the choice attempted by the user is correct, it will match it with the correct answer. If it is correct, then it will say yes. Otherwise, it will say no. Right. So this is how we have done. So let me go through line by line. What is this all code about? First of all is the path name. The path name, if the path name uh, is HTTP, then address local is the function which converts that HTTP path into the local path, right? So that we can address it, and we can use this file system object FSO is an object, right? This will not work if you do not have the proper reference in place. So let me show you. These are the references which you need to have in place so that these code work correctly. Also, these are the first thing it does is that dim means it is declaring an object which is as a new file system object, right? So file system object is just like an explorer having a directory and subdirectory or tree structure in which all the files are displayed, right? An object file is the individual item within a folder, is the object file as a file, right? So these two, and also you would need a folder, right? Because the files are placed in the folder. So all these DIMs are possible because of having a file system object in duly referenced in the system, right? So FSO is the file system which has been declared in it, and the get folder is the file system method which uh, accesses the path which you have mentioned. PTH is the folder. So path, we have specified this path in a string, right? So path is here. This is the path, right? Okay. So let me put a break in here so that you can see how it is working. So it has run, and it is now setting up the file name object. These are the file name which we will use, right? We will make sure that these are them. At the moment, it is not being used in here, but it will be used later on. So there is no impact of this. So you just ignore. You can ignore it at the moment. Okay. So that's let me take you to the next command. It's clicking this, it has jumped all these because dims are such a command on which the break mode means the step mode cannot take a one step. It just skips, right? This is the command which is executable, right? The other is the definition. Dims are always the commands on which the debugger will always jump. It will not stay for you, right? Okay, this is as a matter of the principle of the debugging, right? The next is it is setting up the object folder and FSO, and it is once the object folder is set within this folder, the files will be used for each file in the object folder. So FL is the object folder, and this how it is being used, right? So the object file is being used, and it is checked each object file within the folder. We are checking if it is starting with a lesson, right? And if it does, then the combo box one will be a new item will be added, uh, making sure that only name is added, not the entire path, right? So this is how it is done. And when you execute it, so before executing, we remove all the breaks and we run it. So it comes up with a dialog box having the combo box, and combo box has all the files which you have. And of course, our database is located in 418. 418, yeah, test yourself, Excel aptitude. So this is all. And then once the system will carry on, once the user click or proceed, and the first thing it will do is to make sure that this is the valid file. So what is the valid condition? Condition is that this file must have a quiz file, quiz sheet, and a database sheet. So these two things are very important. If they are there, then it will say, otherwise it will not open the file, and it will say you the file which you have selected is not valid. Okay, so for this, I think we will cover it in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.